Outside the window, snow was falling heavily and the wind was piercingly cold. However, the woman was leisurely and content in her motorhome, spending this winter covered in ice and snow in peace. She had set up her own motorhome base in the snowfield, lit the heater, and enjoyed simple feasts to get through the long winter. On this day, Kawachi Naoko drove alone deep into the snow forest. After a short rest, she picked up the homemade stairs and got into the motorhome easily. To spend the night comfortably in this snowfield, Kawachi first took the water storage bucket to the wild to collect snow water, preparing the water source needed for cooking and drinking in the next few days. After getting familiar with the camping facilities in the motorhome, she drew the curtains of the car windows. Outside the window was the boundless snow scene and the quiet forest, while the warmth inside the room gave her a bit of comfort. Although there was a snowstorm outside, and the temperature had dropped to more than 10 degrees below zero, she decided to make some modifications to improve the comfort of life. First of all, she installed a curved exhaust pipe at the rear of the vehicle to discharge the stove smoke from the motorhome in time. The storage box in the vehicle had already prepared enough firewood for her. Every time she made a fire in the forest, she would collect some wood blocks. She put the wood blocks into the stove and lit them with a blowtorch. As the flames burned, the warmth quickly filled the vehicle, and the warm air instantly dispelled the cold from the outside. As the sky gradually darkened, the woman turned on the camping lights in the vehicle. This motorhome became her mobile castle. The water storage bucket outside the vehicle was placed aside, ready to be used at any time. The surrounding camping equipment was also fully equipped, enough to support her living here for a while. Using the remaining heat of the fire, she wrapped the baked sweet potatoes in tin foil and put them into the stove. When they were cooked, they would be her dinner. By the way, she used the remaining heat of the stove to boil the kettle to prepare drinks for later. As the winter night deepened and the sky was completely dark, the woman opened the car window a little to let in some fresh air, sat beside the fire, and enjoyed the sweet, soft and glutinous baked sweet potatoes, feeling this simple happiness. Although she was camping alone in this snowfield, for her, such a life was full of freedom and joy. The temperature outside was extremely low, but it was as warm as spring inside the vehicle, and she couldn't feel the severe cold outside the window at all. She continued her simple and comfortable life. She heated the pan, added mushrooms and sauce, and made a steaming pot of udon noodles. While enjoying the delicious food, she felt the warmth of the fire. After eating and drinking, the woman put a small amount of drinks on the snow outside the vehicle, using the natural cold to refrigerate them. By night, she could enjoy them easily beside the fire. As the night grew darker, she drew the curtains of the car windows, again to ensure the privacy inside. The lights of today gradually went out, and the woman got into the warm sleeping bag and fell asleep safely. The next morning, she got up from the warm sleeping bag and opened the car door to welcome the fresh air in the forest. After a night of wind and snow, the snow outside had piled up to 60 or 70 centimeters thick, almost burying the motorhome. Taking advantage of the bright sunshine, the woman made a cup of hot coffee beside the car window and turned on the heater to make the vehicle warmer. She sipped the hot coffee while enjoying the snow scene outside the window, continuing her motorhome camping life, planning to spend the next 2.5 years here alone.